Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Gamefromscratch, and today I think we have some positive news in the world of Unity. This is something that Unity developers have been asking for a very long time, and even though it doesn't directly benefit them, indirectly it could be huge. First, we're going to talk about the two major commercial engines that are out there, and the difference is between them. I'm not going to talk about technical differences here. Instead, we're going to talk about business differences. So we've got Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine is obviously one of the major players in the commercial game engine space. This is used to make AAA games, A games, some very major titles have been built using Unreal Engine at this point in time. They very much chase the cutting edge in visual fidelity and so on, but one of the biggest differences with Unreal Engine is they are owned by Epic Games. And Epic Games is a game developer that makes a game engine. There is a huge distinction to our number 2 entry here, which is, of course, Unity. Now, Unity is a game tool maker. They always have been. They've never been a game developer. Now, they've worked with companies like in a professional services capacity, so you could hire people from Unity to help work on parts of your team, but they've never made games. And this has been one of those complaints about Unity for a very long time, because there are a lot of features that come into Unity that are just half-baked, or that just would never work in the real world. I'm not going to say that doesn't happen in the Unreal Engine world as well, but everything with Unreal Engine, when you deal with Unreal Engine, they have dogfooded it. So Unreal Engine, the current version, is generally the version that is being used to create Fortnite or UEFN or various different other projects at Epic Games. So they dog food their own product extensively. So when something doesn't work, they're one of the first to know about it generally. When Unity makes games, oh wait, they don't make games. And that there is a problem. And people have been saying for years, you should make games so you know the pain that we go through. And the good news is they got the memo. Back at GDC 2022, they announced a project called Gigaya. Now, Gigaya was a potentially giant deal. This was them, a team of a little bit over 20 people, I think, working on this complete game. All the resources and assets from this game were going to be released to the public, but the most important part is they were going to make a game from beginning to end, and then they would have that, experience. They would actually have dog-fooded their own product. They would have learned what doesn't work with the Unity game engine. So that was GDC 2022 that was announced. And then here we've got the release, March 2022, Gigaya, latest sample game. That is awesome news. And then we have this update. Now, I'm going to get back to the update over here on their forums. Update, July 14th, 2022. As part of a recent structural change, we decided to stop the production of Gigaya. Gigaya will remain as an internal resource at Unity, but there are no currently active plans to publish it. Yeah. So the worst part is their excuse for not finishing Gigaya is, well, we got it like 90% of the way, and the last 10%, Well, the truth of the matter is, it's that last 10% where you find all of the problems, all of the things that don't work in your workflow or in your engine and so on. So there was a lot of people that were quite disappointed that Gigaya got the axe, because this was basically Unity realizing, yes, we need to dog food our products. We need to work with them. And as you can tell by this thread of 719 people, started off more positive and then got a lot more negative. And unfortunately, the people behind the team were ultimately let go. And this was before Unity went into their, downsizing mode as it was. So that is, that is definitely one of the limitations of working in the Unity ecosystem is they're a game tool maker, not necessarily a game maker. And they finally have changed that. They announced over on, so a Business Wire announcement is where it came to me from, but Unity, the leading platform to create and grow games and interactive experiences, today announced it has developed a day one release title for the Nintendo Switch. By the way, a couple of game engines, including Unity, Game Maker, have announced day one support for the Nintendo Switch. It wasn't big enough news, I didn't think, to cover it, but something to be aware of. So anyways, they're developing a day one release title for the Nintendo Switch, Survival Kids, in close partnership with Konami, and built entirely on Unity 6 for Nintendo Switch 2. Opportunity to develop survival kits with Konami has been an invaluable experience in giving us insight that will help us keep improving the performance and stability of the Unity engine for all our customers. Testing our own technology aligns with a recent shift in our development approach to ensure our tools are production tested first, so game developers can confidently create beautiful games that run smoothly. Again, that is the entire point of dog fooding your product. So it's good to see that they are going down this road. So Survival Kids represents the first time Unity has designed and developed a game end-to-end in collaboration with a publishing partner. That would, of course, be Konami. The project enabled the Unity team to improve the performance and stability of the engine. Survival Kids uses a range of Unity capabilities from core engine features like the Universal Render Pipeline and netcode to live services like Lobby and Relay. Survival Kids represents a landmark collaboration between Konami and Unity, blending classical survival gameplay with modern innovation, introducing new co-op mechanics, multiplayer functionality. The game stays true to its roots while evolving for today's players. And then their trailer is available. And here you can see a bit of the gameplay. It is this style. I thought I muted it. I guess I didn't. So what I can tell from the graphics and looking at it, this is obviously a survival horror style game where you are trying to murder your three coworkers on an abandoned island, I believe. Maybe I should have read the description. Anyways, Survival Kids, this is the big news about it. It's just a game. I don't really care too much about the game itself, but the part that I find super important here is finally, Unity are using their own product to create games. And hopefully this is actually a trend they go with, especially here, because it means that they're developing it for day one on that. So the engine is being developed, and they do that anyways. They're one of the best things about Unity has always been their platform support. And generally they launch with a new platform pretty much as soon as the platform development kits are out there. But when you're actually developing a title to go with it, you're going to find more of the problems day one. So it should make a smoother experience for other people using Unity to develop Switch 2 games. But on top of that, it's just good for them to experience end to end, from concept to shipping, what it is to create a game using their tool, and specifically tool set. So they've got their online services in there as well. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is maybe Unity is finally starting to get it. Let me know what you think. Again, I was massively disappointed when they canceled Gigaya. So this is a good development. I'd love to see, again, something similar. Do a smallish scope game with each major platform launch. That would be wonderful. And also it gives them potentially a secondary revenue stream, which, again, that's what we all benefit from, all the Fortnite money when it comes to Unreal Engine and Epic Games. Hopefully Unity could pull something like that off as well. So let me know what you think of Unity developing their own games. I'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.